time to touch our bags. We're dropping our sack on this mailbag edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. You got questions. I got answers. This comes from our Wednesday live show that we do each and every week where people super chat us and use hashtag Seahawks, and we react to their questions. Now, you may be wondering, how can I be a part of your next mailbag program? Well, if you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, you will never miss a video. You'll know exactly when we go live, and we got you covered here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. Never miss a moment. We'll get started with today's show. Dan with a $100 super chat. Bird says, what do you feel is our chance to make and win the Super Bowl with a first-year head coach, and has that ever been done before? Don McCafferty did it with the Baltimore Colts. And as Smitty put it, this was back in the era when we had separate water fountains. Was the last time this had happened. Now, do I think that the Seahawks are a Super Bowl team? Not right now, but there's still time to get this roster in shape and could be a contending team. But I think realistically, the hope is that you contend for the NFC West this year, and the following year, you take that next step to be a Super Bowl team. I think this is about a 2-year project ahead for Schneider and for Mike McDonald here, but the future is certainly bright for the Seahawks. Dan, thank you for that $100 super chat. Dan, the man, much appreciated. Thanks for that. Smitty's Burner writes in, what's the latest with Tyler Lockett? Is he coming back next year? So, here's the situation as it stands right now with Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett is a very talented receiver. He's 32 years old. He's coming off his first season in many years where he did not have 1,000 yards. Production was down a bit. He's kind of taken a step back of sorts. Still very good, but not what he once was. Now, you look ahead to next year. His cap hit is $16.25 million. That is more money than he's worth and more money than the Seahawks can afford, especially when they got to pay other guys like Leonard Williams and Jordan Brooks, among others, and they still have to pay their draft picks than any other potential new players they bring in. So, with that said, if I am the Seattle Seahawks, I go up to Tyler Lockett and I say this. Look, Tyler, the choice is yours. You are more than welcome to stay in Seattle. You can retire here, but we got to restructure this contract. You got to take a pay cut because here's the deal. No one else is going to pay you $16 million either. You already got your real estate company here. You've already got a great life here. You might as well stay in Seattle anyway. And we're going to take care of you. Even after you retire and all that, you are going to be one of the leaders of the 12s for many years to come. Tyler Lockett, stick around. Just take less money. And if he's not willing to do that, then you trade him or cut him. Decision's ultimately up to Tyler Lockett. Will he return in 2024? That is the question all of us want to know. I'm hopeful. I hope that Tyler Lockett will be a team player and take that restructure, take that pay cut, and come back this upcoming season. Live for yes and for no. Let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less. Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's the tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in place even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player projection won't count against you, and the rest of your entry stays live. Now, I've had some good success with NASCAR as of late, but I'm looking ahead to the baseball season. I got Grayson Rodriguez to have more than 180.5 strikeouts for the Orioles. And for your Seattle Mariners, I got Julio Rodriguez to have more than 168.5 hits. Say we put $20 down, both those hit. We're turning that into $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for your $100 deposit bonus. Ryan Bosworth writes, can the Seahawks recover if they don't re-sign Leonard Williams? All right. First off, can they recover? The first half of that question, it would be mentally draining. It would be emotionally draining if the Seahawks can't get a deal done with Leonard Williams. Because you've been interested in this guy for 2 years, right? You had your eyes on him, John Schneider did. Okay? You gave up a second-round pick. You gave up a fifth-round pick to pull this trade off. It was an expensive deal. Okay? Right? So that was big in of itself. And then taking it a step further from there, okay, he was the best player on your defense the second half of this past year. So you've laid all your chips on the table. You've gone all in on Leonard Williams here. You can't step back now. I mean, what was it all for then? If we're going to be frank, the Seahawks weren't going to be a Super Bowl team no matter what this past season. You made that move. I know some people say, well, you made it for a playoff run. It's not like the Seahawks were going to go to the Super Bowl here, folks. You made that trade with every intention to re-sign Leonard Williams. If you don't, that is demoralizing. Now, the flip side is that there are other players out there that you could spend the money on instead that are arguably just as good, if not better. But you invested in Leonard Williams for a reason. Keep that in mind. I want Leonard Williams still here in Seattle. Will the Seahawks re-sign Leonard Williams? I think so, but I'm not overly confident. S for sign, P for pass. Way in the comment section, let us know what you think. Tom and Tretta are right in. Can the Seahawks really go without drafting a QB this year? Tom, great question. You know, I am of the belief, the Bill Belichick philosophy, that you should draft a quarterback every single year, whether it's in the first round or the seventh round. There should always be a quarterback you should find. We heard John Schneider say earlier this week that he was disappointed that the Seahawks have only drafted 2 quarterbacks in a 14-year stretch. I don't think you can go without drafting a quarterback this year. I think it would be an abject failure if you do not get a quarterback at some point this year. Even if they're not there to compete with Geno, even if they're not there to be your long-term starter, just getting a backup in there, giving somebody a chance. I mean, think about the Niners, okay, with that Brock Purdy situation. Final pick in the 7th round. That worked out pretty well for them. Even if it's that pick, it's worth it just to see if something's there, something works out or not. Last question. Dan with another $100 super chat. Do you think we will get more than one player from Baltimore? $100 super chat. Bang! Dan, I think there's a chance the Seahawks go after Patrick Queen. Sounds like Justin Madubuike is going to stay with Baltimore. They're going to franchise tag him, so he's kind of off the table. But Patrick Queen's possible. Geno Stone is a possibility. Those two I really like. Let's see. Also on the list of potential guys there, you got Jadeveon Clowney, got Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy is going to be really cheap. Clowney isn't going to cost a ton either, but he'll be more than Van Noy. You got Kevin Zeitler on the offensive line at the guard spot potentially. If you're looking backup quarterback, you got Tyler Huntley as a possibility. I would say that the most likely two are Patrick Queen and Geno Stone. The guy I would want the most when you talk about need and value is probably Geno Stone, though. Dan, much appreciated. Another $100 super chat. Dan the man coming through big today. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. Have a great one. Subscribe now. We'll see you next time.